right over there.
But they can hear everything.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Dade County Weekly Update. My name is Carey, Fauscett-Anderson. I do public information for Dade County. Thank you again for joining us. Remember, you can type your questions in the comment section during this live update. And if you don't want to ask your question during the live broadcast, you can always email us at info@dadecounty-ga.gov. Thank you so much for coming to the right place for the right information. Today, we will be hearing from Dade County Vice Chair Robert Goff. Josh Engel will be on with us next week, the Dade County School Superintendent, to talk about Bloss. So if you know someone who would be interested in hearing from us today, go ahead and invite them to watch this live broadcast or start a watch party so you can hold your own discussion. Remember, you can also watch this later on Facebook or YouTube, and sharing the links to our videos is super easy. I do want to remind you that early voting is happening right now at the Dade County Administration Building for Bloss. Commissioner Goff will talk about that a little bit more today. Also, the Department of Driver Services will be here next Monday, and there is a Board of Commissioners meeting tonight at 6 o'clock. If you want to see an agenda of tonight's meeting, you can do that at dadecounty-ga.gov. We'll also be sharing that agenda in the links, the comment section. We'll put a link there. We will share that meeting live on Facebook because we still are under social distancing restrictions due to COVID-19. So as usual, we will share that on Facebook Live. At this point in time, we will go to Commissioner Goff.
Thank you, Carey, for all that, and as well as being so good to put this on every week and be able to bring a lot of information to the county from different people, not just the commission. I wish that Mr. Engel could be here because the voting will change after next week, the voting for the Bloss. So we'll talk about that a little bit in a minute, and Carey's already covered a few things. Usually, you know, it seemed like every time we begin a meeting or whatever, a report, it has to do with County Road 6, and that is obviously the biggest thing that we've got going on right now in the county. We did finish, as you know, the project out at Lookout Lake has been finished and should be sometime this month till the state dams people, safe dams people, will get back and say everything is checked off on that because it's has been taken care of, but they will get back to us officially in the county. So County Road 6 is still going on. As you know, there's been a couple of days when it's rained that it has held it up. And, of course, every day you miss is a day out on whatever deadline you may have had. And I don't think that there's ever been a set deadline. We just talk about maybe, hopefully, prayerfully by the end of March. And here we are into March somehow already, actually with the 4th day of March already here. But if you were able to go look, and I know most people are not, there's a couple of people that live up there and a business actually right above where the work's going on, and they're seeing it every day. But if you see the scope of that, and I know Carey's done a good job of putting some pictures on, we did go up the other day, and I got another look at it with Billy Massengale, and all the work that's been done there is just phenomenal. And then we want to talk just a little bit about, a lot of people call White Oak Gap, but we call it 136 up the mountain. The state sent some people, or GDOT sent some people, I guess Thursday, and they come up and we're looking at some of the really bad spots that are on Highway 136. Now, we have not talked with them since. That is a state road. There are some, as you know, if you come around what we usually call Bethune's Garden Center, well, it's no longer that. It's Lily Lou's. It's a wedding reception meeting type venue now. But once you come around that curve, you immediately hit one spot. Then on down about where the old fruit stand was or fruit market was on the other side of the road. There's a very bad spot. So they're looking at those things, and they're all up and down there, not only on the west side, 136 West, but also 136 East, which they did some work on a couple of years ago, but all it was paving, and some of that is beginning to crack very wide. So they're looking at all this, and again, that's their in their wheel well to do it, and we don't know when they will get around to doing it and what they will do. I do know that the plans are still on for the bridge at 136, just east of the high school, but that is not for another year or two. It will be done. Surely we hope that it will be done after the school year when there's at least that traffic's not there. It will be some inconvenience for a couple of weeks. They're saying it'll just be about 14 days till they would be able to do it, but it would be totally blocked if that's the case. Then anyone with a big rig or whatever would obviously have to go, I guess, up toward Chattanooga and go off the mountain there. Of course, anyone else could come off Burkhalter Gap, go back. When you get to the Creek Road, you would turn back, and then you can go down all the way out to Highway 11 out there toward the New England, or you can come through New England Road and hit it right there. So there'll be a whole lot more of that before it actually happens. But people are already, believe it or not, beginning to ask, well, what are we going to do and how are we going to maneuver? But that is the best we can tell you right now. And again, that is state projects. The bridge does definitely need some work. And also the one is going to be a problem to some great extent, I guess, down at Squirreltown Creek, which if you're going north toward Chattanooga is just right there before you, or right after you passed Sligo Road. So that's another bridge that will be at some point in time will be done. That would divert traffic off at the Sligo New England exit at Hell's Gap, and you would come through Sligo Road and come out above that then. Of course, if you are in a 40-foot or a truck driver, maybe, or any kind of trailer, maybe hauling cattle or whatever, you may well want to stick with the interstate regardless of what's going on the interstate at that time. And we all know that there in the 59 split quite often there's a lot of problems. So, but that again, that's not next week. It's not next month. It will be a while before those are done, but we're just trying to keep people apprised of it, that it will be coming. It will not catch anyone by any kind of surprise. Then I want to talk, I know many people, everywhere I go, phone calls, face-to-face, church, grocery store, wherever want to know about Alan Bradford. There's not a lot we can tell you that hasn't already been told. There is usually every day on Facebook, some of the family will put something on there. And the last that we got, the last that I have, that I can report on is last night, somewhere around 9 o'clock, they gave a second update where they had already about noon yesterday, they'd given one, and all they said was he is still in very critical condition. So please remember Alan in your prayers, his family, his wife, his daughters, grandchildren, brothers, sisters, the whole family going through a very tough time right now with Alan. You know, if you, for somehow or another, you've tuned in and don't know who we're talking about, I think everybody probably would, but Alan Bradford is one of our county commissioners in District 4, which is Lookout Mountain. He's a friend to so many people. You couldn't carry them all in a freight train. So please remember Alan in your prayers. And, excuse me, Carey mentioned we do have a meeting tonight, our regular scheduled first Thursday night meeting. We do still have to follow some guidelines because of COVID, so it'll be limited seating. Of course, Alan will not be able to be there, so again, continue to pray for him. And we will go ahead with that meeting tonight at 6 o'clock. Will be our work session, and then immediately following that, there's not a lot on our agenda tonight. There's a few appointments to different boards, and mostly it's just the house cleaning of different recognition for different things and that we do every month. Recognizing a day or a week or a month for something. So it will be at 6 o'clock in the commission room, and then right following that will be the actual commissioners meeting, and that's where we will take care of that consent agenda and whatever. We'll like to, I don't know the dates, but here before me I do have Tractor Supply. If you've gone by, it's a very beautiful building. They are working hard to be open. I think maybe by April, they want to be sometime 1st of April or end of April. They want to be opening that store. They do have, a lot of people have asked about jobs. If you go to their website now, not ours, you may find some information on ours, but they have a website, and I actually went on it just out of curiosity. I'm not really looking for a job, but I just want to see if they had the Trenton store up, and this is probably 2 weeks ago, and they did have it listed on their places of taking applications and that kind of thing. So if you're interested in it, it would be a great place right here at home, and we're looking forward to them being here. We have a grant program that has come from the COVID, and Paula Stallings, which was with the Board of not the Board of Education, but with the school system. She retired, and she is now taking care of that. And it's a grant program helping to find jobs for workers displaced by COVID. So if you're interested in that, she's working from home a lot, but she's also here, has a little place outside the room we're in where she sits and interviews and talks to people. So if you want more information about that, please call and contact Paula Stallings at 706-657-4625. And if you're interested in that, and again, it's temporary jobs because it is on a grant. There are several in the county, or people in the county that are already working. So it may be something that you'd like to look into. If you've been displaced from work, she can give you certainly more of the details. The Department of Driver Services will be here this next Monday. They were not here this Monday, and remember, they're here every other Monday. So they'll be here next Monday right across the parking lot out here in the same building where the jail is, but you don't go into the front entrance. And if you go up and it says this is closed, remember, they are still open for business there, even though the sheriff's lobby to some extent is closed. We mentioned East Bloss, or Carey did, and also that Mr. Engel, our interim superintendent of schools, was hoping to be here, and maybe he will next week. But the East Bloss vote is going on, and I know it has not been a best kept secret, but a lot of people do not know that there has been a vote going on, I guess. And this is March the 4th. So today, on Thursday, is the last day that they will be open out here this week until 5 o'clock. So if you want to come down and vote, you've got time before 5 o'clock today. Then March the 5th, which is tomorrow, it is shortened hours. The hours will be 8 until 2 o'clock because they do leave at 2 o'clock like the rest of the county does. So then next week, March the 8th, it will be open 8 through 11 from 8 till 5. March the 8th to March the 11th, be open 8 till 5, and again on March the 12th, which would be next Friday, would be the last day of early voting, and that will be from 8 till 2 on March the 12th. And then you will see, if you're driving across the mountain, say at White Oak Baptist Church, or you're going north and you see the precincts with the voting signs out, and there will be some out. That is what's taking place. But like any other election, it has to go on the election day, or what we would call an election day, even though it's not an election. It is just a referendum for the East Splosh, which is educational splosh, not the county splosh. But they would be at the precincts. Wherever you vote on election day, you would go there to vote. So please keep that in mind. It's a very serious thing for the school system. It's a very urgent thing for the school system. These splosh, when you vote one in, they go about 5 to 6 years, and so theirs is coming up, and so it funds a lot of things. I don't know what all they are. I do know buses, any kind of capital improvements that the school has to make, just like the splosh does for the county. So keep that in mind. Again, next week, early voting right here where you come to vote for anything else. The building that we're in, right across from the jail. And then next week, the same place, but after that, there'll be an election day. You must go to your actual precinct on March the 16th.
And we've only had about 160 people vote so far.
Right. There's only been around the last official count I had was just a little bit earlier, was 138. So a few more people have come in. If we've got 150 to 160. So that's not a lot of people, obviously. But again, I know that there's a lot of people, even though we've announced it. I'm sure Carey's put it on our webpage, the school. There's just sometimes there's things that if you're involved with it, like we are as commissioners, not with the East Bloss, but with our Splosh, there comes a time where you can only answer questions and you can only You can tell what it goes for and that kind of thing, but it's not really something that you can get out and push as an elected official. So keep that in mind. Now we want to talk just a little bit about Tire Amnesty Day. And of course, this makes me think, and it'll make you think if you've ever been a part of it, of Alan Bradford, because this is something he's done for the last 2 or 3 years. And believe me, though I haven't done it, I've watched Alan, and it takes a lot of work. It's not something you just call the state or you call these tire recycling companies or whatever and say, will you come down, bring us some trailers, we'll now bring people to bring tires. But it will take place, we hope, on May the 1st. And again, it was approved for May the 1st. And it probably would be, I don't know, maybe even if it's inclement. Obviously, if we got a 2-foot snow, we probably wouldn't be there.
Next Saturday.
But yeah, it would be moved till the next Saturday, which would be May the 8th, I'm sorry, I guess. And this will only be from 9 o'clock until 3 o'clock. This will be at the transfer station where you, of course, take your garbage. And if you're not used to going down there, then you can find where that is. Now, here's the very important part, because I know every year there's a lot, even though we talk about it, Alan talks and talks and talks about it. And I'm going to do my best to take his place in talking, at least. I may not work as hard as he does on it. But there are no commercial tires like large tractor or truck tires. No big tractor trailer tires, no farm tractor tires, anything like that. Only up to 20 tires per resident, and this is Dade County residents only. So I would advise you, if you borrow a trailer or something and it's got a county, say DeKalb County, Alabama or something, you may be from here, but maybe you borrowed a trailer from a friend, please come with them and be able to show some ID that you're from the county, because this is not cheap for anybody, and we want our residents, our people, to be taken care of. So it is 20 tires per resident. And I think where some of the problem maybe came in on years past is somebody would come and bring maybe 8 tires, and then they'd go to somebody else's house and they'd continue to bring tires over and over trying to help somebody else. And it gets very confusing at that point, and then some people can really get mad if they have to be cut off. But it is for the residents of Dade County. It is for 20 tires. It is for standard car and truck tires, pickup trucks, automobiles, motorcycle tires only. But again, no large tractor trailer tires, or farm tractor tires, or anything like that. The tires must be clean. Now, by that, you don't have to take them out and wash them off, don't get me wrong, but they cannot be full of mud, full of water, rocks, and things like that, where they've settled somewhere maybe, and you've used them for maybe a flower pot or whatever, and they're full of dirt. First of all, you don't want to hurt yourself trying to lift them, and we don't want anybody else to hurt themselves trying to lift them. And we just can't fill the trailers with that kind, because there will be trailers provided for all these tires that are coming in. It's always been a great day. Gives people an opportunity to get rid of a set of tires, maybe where you bought some or whatever. Maybe you've got a camper or something like that. You've had to put tires on it, and you've been wondering, where can I take these to get rid of them? That will be on May the 1st, right down here at the transfer station. Again, if you got any calls on any of this stuff, call here, call our county office, or call your commissioner. My number is 423-503-0618. That's 423-503-0618, and we'll be glad to help you any way we can. Now, in the state of Georgia, maybe other states, but this is where we live and move and have our being, COVID testing in all Northwest region health departments ended last week. Now, keep in mind, this is only the health departments, which is right below where we stand now, where you're coming if you're in the first group to get your shots. They ended testing here as last week. So the nearest testing facilities, now you still can be tested. If you feel a need to be tested for COVID-19, you can go to Lawson Medical. That's right here by the post office, right in the building where the Dr. George is, and you can go there. And but you would want to call first, and they're there Mondays and Thursdays. But you'd want to call 706-657-3200. And that is Lawson Medical. Price Pharmacy, 706-657-4061. And it does say here that is a $90 It's the only one with an amount on it, I think, but it's $90 straight pay walk-in rapid test. So it is a little different than some of the swabs and different things that are going on. Primary health care, going north just past the old Shaw plant. Their number is 706-657-7575. If you're anyone feels the need to be tested for whatever reason. AFC in Lookout Valley. I'm not sure what that, I guess it's family care in Lookout Valley at 3520 Cummings. That's there near the Walmart, I think. Their number, 423-799-2823. The AFC in Fort Oglethorpe, 26 Parkway Drive. Their number is 706-214-2930. If you're listening to us, you're in Marion County or maybe on the back side of the mountain, and you want to go off there at the Marion County Health Department. Now remember, that's Tennessee. So they're still there, it says, at 24 7th Street in Jasper. Their number is 423-942-2238. And then finally, Fast Pace Health Urgent Care in Jasper at 4300 Main Street. And that number is 423-651-1696. And that's about all we have, unless there's been someone asking questions through Carey here. We'll go over a little bit. We may not go over this whole list. Again, we just talked about the testing stopping in the health departments in Georgia, Northwest region in the last year. So there will probably, and I think that may be the reason we're seeing, you hear about the drop in cases, but I think maybe people following whatever guidelines, and that I hope and pray it is just simply that. It's a drop in cases. We do hope the vaccines work. They're using the Moderna vaccine, some using the Pfizer. The government, or the FDA, the other day approved the Johnson & Johnson. I don't know, can't tell you what that means. That is all federal government and the federal administration of that. I understand they have partnered with Merck Pharmaceuticals, and they will go together, and Merck will help Johnson & Johnson make their vaccine. So the good thing about that is it shows even large corporations, very large, very rich corporations can come together for the common good of the people. I understand it will be a one dose, whereas with Moderna and Pfizer, you have to take the 2 doses. You take one, you wait about 28 days, then you go get your second dose. But this will, as far as I know, will only be one dose. What I'm hearing, you can fact check me if it raises any curiosity in you. It does not have to be frozen like the Moderna or the Pfizer. A lot of people, we were talking about this yesterday. Most of this vaccine's coming in 2 ways. One of them I'll really promote is United Parcel Service, because it comes on their planes. The other one is Federal Express or FedEx. It comes on their planes. All that we've been getting so far, the Moderna and the Pfizer, have to be shipped on dry ice or some way to be frozen, very, very solid, very cold. So, we just don't think of things like that. So when you're flying planes, you're limited to the amount of dry ice you can put on a plane. So there's just a lot of factors that sometimes we don't really know about. We're just not that educated on how it gets from that company, wherever Moderna may be coming from, to get to the Dade County Health Department or the primary health care in Dade County. But it is a lot of logistics that take place to get it there. Has to be on time, and then it has to be thawed. And there again, if you have an appointment to get a shot, please keep that, or let them know as soon as you can that you're not going to be able to be at that appointment, because if they've thawed that medicine, that vaccine, and nobody's there to get it, it does have a very quick expiration date, and that's not a week from now. That's very few hours that they have to use it, or it is one that's gone and somebody that was hoping for one. And they will do their best to get someone to come in and take that vaccine that's waiting on it. So please do that. But in Dade County, we presently have 1,113 in Dade County, and that is with a growth of 60 in the last 2 weeks. Georgia has had 823,008 confirmed cases. That is up in the last 2 weeks from 796,547. So they are still growing, and some people are still being tested. In Dade County, we've had 9 deaths so far attributed to COVID and 51 hospitalizations. And again, one of those that we know of right now, and we're not breaking any HIPAA laws by saying this because they want people to know as best they can. But Alan Bradford, our commissioner, is one of those that is right now in the hospital. Walker County has a total of 5,837 cases. Catoosa County has a total of 5,053 cases. And in Chattooga County, these are our closest neighbors in Georgia, has 2,084 cases. Everybody up in the last couple of weeks have still continued to climb, but it's not as steep a climb as it was prior to this. Then we'll go down to unknown counties, and that is people that they just have not been able to assign them to, but there's 15,349 deaths, 56,369 hospitalizations. Since yesterday in the state of Georgia, we've had 1,593 cases, 143 deaths, and 118 hospitalizations. We will kind of mention Marion and Hamilton because they're close by. Hamilton County has 40,486 cases. That's up 912, but they show they're recovered. 39,112 of those 40,000 have recovered. However, 462, we're sorry to report, were deceased or are deceased. Marion County has a total of 2,945, 60 active cases, 2,841 have recovered, and with 44 deaths in Marion County. If you have any reason to know, I'm guessing that, Carey, do you have this, what I'm looking at on our webpage? If you want to look, because
some of it, we don't update it like this all the time, no.
But we have numbers here for Whitfield, Gordon, and Floyd. We have them for Grundy, Sequatchie, Meigs, and Bradley. And just in the essence of time, not to read all those, but you can find out. Alabama has 498,076 confirmed cases. They have 491,110 was their last count, so they're up some. Jackson, we will give them. They're close neighbors as well as DeKalb. Jackson has 6,545. They've had 104 deceased. And then DeKalb County, which is Fort Payne and that part, Jackson is across the mountain going toward Stevenson, Scottsboro. 8,489 in DeKalb County with 175 deceased, and had 116 new cases in the last 14 days. So the global cases that are reported by Johns Hopkins COVID Resource Center. The confirmed cases are 115,378,866, with global deaths, and the global deaths being 2,563,396. Of those cases in the United States, cases are 28,773,799, with the total deaths of 518,758. Total global recovered is 65,254,792. So please take some heart from that it is not, it is terrible. There's a lot of families that have lost loved ones, a lot of people that have been very sick, and some almost no more than a common cold. But by far, many, many, many people have survived it. And I think with the vaccine, we're on their way sometime soon to maybe quit having to report this. I don't say it's going away personally as just me. I did miss going to medical school by just that much, but I don't think it will ever not be here. It'll be just like the flu and like a lot of things. But I think that the more we learn to deal with it, the vaccines and that kind of thing, that America will get back to a better day. And I think as America gets back, then counties like Dade, cities like Trenton, homes like yours will all get back to a better day as well. So again, we thank you for tuning in. And if you have any questions, please give us a call. Again, my phone number is 423-503-0618. And we hope that you stay safe, stay well. Weekend coming up just after one more day. Have a great weekend. Spend time with your family all that you can. Laugh and enjoy your life. God bless you and have a great day.